What is a fallacy? Can you tell me what a fallacy is?
All right. So I'm glad actually that all of these Roman Catholics are in a tizzy over the obvious massive failure of Tim Gordon in the debate. First of all three of us were loud and interrupted, and these hypocrites act like I was the only one that was loud and interrupted, which is just a ridiculous double standard. Everybody did it, including Tim Pool. It was a informal debate, obviously. People lie and act like I've never done formal debates, that there aren't civil formal debates. There are dozens of them. But we also do the uncivil, informal blood sport style as well. And so what amazes me is just the consistent, just gaslighting and lying that Roman Catholics do no matter what. They're actually incapable of reading comprehension, of just basic honesty about any of the topics that come up. And just like a bunch of feminists or women on the internet, the only thing that they care about is the optics, how it makes them feel, and who hurts their feelings or whatever. It's nothing to do with the content. None of these people will actually stick to the content. And then anytime you invite them to come discuss, they whine and complain as if you're mean, which, by the way, is itself like gay as hell to complain. I was mean. But beyond that, it's not true that you don't get a chance or an opportunity to come make your case. You only get interrupted when you don't make arguments and when you shift into various fallacies or various straw men. That's it. It's pretty easy. We have atheists, Muslims, Protestants, Catholics. They call in all the time and have done so for years. If you could just simply coherently make an argument, it's very easy to make your case here. And I welcome it. I offer it all the time. And what's funny is, out of 10 Roman Catholic shit talkers, none of them will actually come debate their arguments. All they want to do is debate your debating, debate your meanness, your style, or what you did bad. Now, you'll notice too that any moral qualm they have about me, when they pile on, they let loose 10 times more venom than I let loose in any of these conversations. But it's okay for them to do it, but not for me. So it's all just insane levels of hypocrisy, idiocy, childishness, stupidity, and that it just never ends. So let's get to the actual issues, Kevin. Kevin, when you commented to me about what Vatican II says about Hindus, and I replied to that. And then you said all this other stuff about Muslims, which I never even replied to. I didn't even listen or look at any of your comments about Islam. So why did you then lie as if I deflected and I was misleading people? That's why I blocked you, is because it's just total dishonesty. I made one reply to one of your comments. Gotta unmute, Kevin.
Yeah, I didn't lie. I'm not really sure what you're talking about. I said Vatican II does not say Hindus worship the same God or the one true
Yeah,
God.
did I reply to that?
You did reply to that.
Okay, and so that was it, right?
Yeah, that was one post. And then I reposted or whatever quote, what Twitter calls it. I quoted a second post. This one was not about Hindu. It was about Muslims. And then I made an argument from Romans 1. And
Yeah, I didn't.
you commented about Hindus again. So that was a totally different context. So then I
Yeah,
said,
but
well, what does this have to
I
do
was
with?
obviously still replying to the original comment because I'm
I
talking
wasn't
about Hinduism.
it wasn't pretty obvious. No, it was not obvious for me at all.
If
I,
I'm talking about Hinduism, is it not obvious that I'm still talking about that post?
it's not. I mean, the second post was about. I mean, if I'm going to respond to somebody, I'm not going to respond to them about something in a
Okay,
different post.
does Vatican II actually say that?
Say what?
Your first comment was that Vatican II doesn't say that, right?
It does not say what.
It does not say what my original comment said about throwing Hindus into the mix.
That's right. They do not.
Right.
They do not worship the same God.
And yet, what term does Vatican II use in Nostra Aetate?
It says they. You read it. I'm carrying my my daughter
Well,
right now on my shoulder.
me read it. You can't. You don't know what it says.
I don't want to butcher it.
It says in Hinduism they value the moral life and worship God. Excuse me. That's the. Let me go back up. That's the Muslim comment. It says. Let me pull it up. I got it at a different spot. That was the wrong comment. Okay, here it is. I'll read the whole section so that we know what the context and everything is. It says, thus, in Hinduism, so we're talking about in the religion, men contemplate the divine mystery and express it through an exhaustible abundance of myths and through searching philosophical inquiry. They seek freedom from the anguish of our human condition, either through ascetic practices or profound meditation, or a flight to God with love and trust.
Is that the same thing it says about Muslims, that they worship the one true God?
Does it? What does it say about God? Then? What
That they
does it
fly.
use?
That they fly.
Does it use the proper G there?
It does.
Proper noun?
Does that mean it's the
Oh,
one true God?
so which one is it?
Does that mean it's the one true God? I mean, they could
How
have
many
easily
how
said.
many gods how many gods do you believe in? How many do you capitalize?
Well, the Hindus believe in many gods.
How many
Christians
do you
only.
capitalize?
I mean, I only talk about one usually, but
How
I
many
think
do you
you're
capitalize?
falsely inferring there that because they
How many do you
capitalize.
capitalize?
I think you're falsely in capital. You're
So how many gods are there that you capitalize? Anybody? The ones that you believe in, right?
right, but I think you're falsely assuming there that that means that they worship the one true God.
Why is it capitalized, you liar?
I'm not lying, Jay.
Why is it capitalized?
I don't know. But I think you're falsely
Exactly.
assuming.
You don't know.
I think you're falsely.
Exactly.
I think you're
You don't
falsely.
know.
Well,
Yeah, you
well,
don't know.
well. I mean, I can
Exactly.
make a proper. I can make a
Exactly.
proper guess without jumping to conclusions that they worship the same God as Muslims or as Christians or as
Wait, so
Abraham.
you think Muslims and Christians do worship the same God?
Of course, that's what the document says, Jay.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. So it's not what Tim Gordon said, right?
I'm not aware of anything. I don't follow Tim Gordon. I have no idea what.
Okay, right.
No,
So
I really
how do
don't.
Muslims and Christians worship the same God when Muslims don't acknowledge the Trinity?
Wait, but why are you changing topics? Let's stick to the Hindus.
Oh, so you don't want to go there?
No, I
No,
do.
we're going.
I will
You
go
brought up
there,
Muslims. We're going to go. We're going to go
but
to
we're still
Muslims. You
on
brought
Hindu.
them
We
up.
haven't finished Hindus
No,
yet.
you brought them up because you just said you don't know why it's capital G. Now we're going to go to your other argument because you don't know. So tell me, how do Muslims worship the one true God when they don't believe in Christ or the Trinity?
Hold on, Jay. We're talking about Hindus.
All right. So this is what you guys do.
Jay,
You just said
Jay,
about
we
the
can
Hindu
Jay,
text
we
you
can
don't know.
totally go there in a
You said
second.
I don't know.
Jay, we can
Oh,
totally
let's
go
go
there in
there
a
now.
second.
Bro, did you say I don't know?
Yeah, I can't I can't read into the
So then we're
intentions
gonna move
of
on
why
because
they
you don't know.
capitalize the word G in God, but
Then you don't know. So we're gonna move on, and you lost that point. We're gonna move on
what
now.
point did
So
I
what?
exact hold
How
on,
do
Jay, hold on. What
Muslims?
point did I exactly lose? I haven't lost any point. You still have to
I don't
show
know. You don't know.
that
Your
Vatican II teaches.
argument.
No,
Your
you see,
argument is
because
I
you're
don't
falsely
know.
inferring from a
You're
capital
done,
G
dude. This
that
is
they
why you're a
teach.
liar. You're a liar. Get out of here. That's why these people are disgusting liars.